Mahi-Mahi Resort. Hello everybody, members of the year to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon. In the previous episode, we completed the Booyah base, and we also completed the second major part of this Let's Play, our tour through Inkopolis. And in today's episode, we're not only going to be getting Turf Wars, but we're now going to be going through the third major part of this Let's Play, the online multiplayer. So, as I explained during the Octowhirl finale, every multiplayer mode in this game will be given its own dedicated video. So, this is a video for Turf Wars, so I hope you enjoy. Now, you may notice that some of the names at the very beginning of this match may seem familiar to you hardcore Let's Play fans. That is because this footage was also recorded during one of Mahi-Mahi's live streams for this game. And not just that, but also Octowhirl was playing along with this one as well. So, I want to use this footage in particular because this was honestly one of my favorite this one honestly one of my favorite matches that I've ever played in Splatoon. And we'll see why in a moment. So, how I'm going to be handling the online multiplayer is, like I said earlier, every major mode in the game will be given its own dedicated video. Like, Turf Wars will be given a video, Rainmaker will be given a video, just things like that. What I also plan on doing for this game is also have plans of demonstrating every single map in the game in every single mode. So we'll be seeing Mahi-Mahi Resort in Turf Wars, Spot Zones, Rainmaker, and Tower Patrol by the end of the Let's Play. So that's my plan for how I'm going to be doing this, and this will also determine which matches I'll be demonstrating during these videos. Because let me just say this right now. I've been recording stock footage for this game for well over a year, and so a lot of these games have been sitting on my a lot of these matches have been sitting on my hard drive for well over a year, so you better appreciate it! Alright, so this stage right here that we're playing on right now, this is Mahi-Mahi Resort. This is one of the latest stages that were released for this game. It was released on December 4th, and we've seen it on... Oh, right here, this is my favorite part. I splatted Octowhirl himself. Oh, so fear me. So during this live stream when Mahi-Mahi was doing his stream for this game, I posted after this match was over in the chat that I splatted Octowhirl and that my life was complete or something like that, and so it was a pretty fun time because he's one of my favorite Let's players of all time, and it's just really fun to be able to get the chance to play with one of my YouTube inspirations. So going back to Mahi-Mahi Resort, like I said a moment ago, this stage was released on December 4th, and we've seen it on Spot Zones and Tower Patrol. So after this video, all we need to do is see it on Rainmaker, then we'll be A-OK. So when I talk about these stages, I'm also going to be talking about when they were released, because something that's widely known about Splatoon is that not all the stages or the weapons were available at the day that it was released. There was a lot of content that was released way down the line, well after the game was released. Yeah, we won by 0.4 milliseconds, and I'm the most valuable team member! Woo! And this right here should give you a clear indication of just how long I've been recording footage for this game. You may notice the quality kind of sucks right now, because I recorded this footage with my old capture card. Let that sink in for a moment. The first time that I used my new capture card, the current one, was for the third episode of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. So this footage predates anything I recorded for my last two Let's Plays. Yeah, I've been recording footage for this for a very, very long time, and I've gotten a little bit crazy. In all seriousness, I've really enjoyed playing through this game, and it's really surreal to actually be recording commentary over this footage, because like I said earlier, this footage has been sitting on my hard drive for well over a year, and it's really, really surreal to be actually commentating over this footage right now. Alright, so back to business. This is Salt Spray Rig. Well, before I move on, I just want to talk about Mahi-Mahi Resort a little bit, because that's actually a very interesting stage. Halfway through the match, you may notice that the water level was lowering. This makes it so that you have more turf you can cover. So if you know what you're doing, you could potentially make an amazing comeback at the end of the stage. So you may be losing terribly at the beginning, but then you may make a great comeback by claiming the rest of the turf at the very end, and then you'll win and be the supreme ruler of the Splatoon world. And Aerospray RG, this is one of the stages that were available at the very beginning of the game when it was first released. This is also available on Booyah Base, as I think we demonstrated that one during the Booyah, not the Battle Dojo video, that's what I'm trying to say. Now as for how this stage works, it's very, very weird, because most of the other stages are like mirrored, because like, you start off on opposite sides of the stages, and then like when you get to the other side, you'll see that everything's kind of like flipped, so that everybody would have the same starting area at the very beginning of the match. This one is not like that, however, because you start off on the left and right side of the rig, and there's like really no mirroring effect for the stage. It's very weird. Now, as for which modes we've seen this stage on, we've only seen Aerospray RG on Splat Zones. Now, I'm not counting the Global Test Fire video, because that was very much its own thing, and it doesn't really particularly count, because that was only a demo. So, now we've seen this stage on Turf Wars and Splat Zones. We just need to see it on Tower Control and Rainmaker, and then we'll be okay. One thing that's also worth mentioning is that this footage was also recorded around the time that I started using the bucket. So, I wasn't the best bucket user in the world. So, like, nowadays, at least I like to think that I'm a decent bucket user, but back then I wasn't the best bucket user in the world. How many times did I say bucket in that sentence? The world may never know, except video evidence, and that's something I've been saying a lot in my videos, because I'm unoriginal. I'm unoriginal. I can be replaced. Oh, I'm stupid. Museum d'Enfoncito. Now, I've kind of already described my opinions on this stage during last time we saw it. I don't remember exactly when that happened, but we've only seen Museum d'Enfoncito on Splat Zones as well. This stage was available on November 13th, and like I said, way back when we first saw the stage, any weapon that has like an Inkstrike for the special weapon is probably going to be your best option for this, because the Inkstrike will cover the spinning platforms, but it will also cover the ground beneath it, so you can get a lot more turf that way. E-leaders are also a very good weapon to use on the stage, because they can fire from all across the arena. They're kind of broken on the stage. I consider this to be more of a sniper's paradise than Mori Towers, but that might just be because I'm a dork. So that's pretty much everything I have to say about Mahi-Mahi Resort. So now I'm going to be going over the weapon stats over this video. This time around, we'll be going over the Aerospray and the Nozzle Nose weapons. So, Aerospray MG, level knocked at 7, you'll need the Rampaging Octowhirl, Sunken Scroll to knock this. That same applies for the other two versions of the Aerospray, the RG and the PG. The cost for buying the MG Aerospray, 4,500. Base damage 24.5, range 32 out of 100, damage 20 out of 100, fire rate 100 out of 100, sub-weapon Seeker, plus weapon Inkzooka. Aerospray RG, level knocked 13. Cost 9,300, range 32 out of 100, damage 20 out of 100, fire rate 100 out of 100, sub-weapon Inkmine, plus weapon Inkstrike. Aerospray PG, level unlocked to 20, cost 20,000, base damage 24.5, range 32 out of 100, damage 20 out of 100, fire rate 100 out of 100, sub-weapon burst bumps, buff weapon Kraken. Jet Squelcher, level unlocked to 8, cost of 4,000, base damage 31, range 80 out of 100, damage 32 out of 100, fire rate 40 out of 100, sub-weapon Splash Walls, plus weapon Inkstrike. Custom Jet Squelcher, level unlocked 15, cost 7,900, base damage 31, range 80 out of 100, damage 32 out of 100, fire rate 40 out of 100, sub-weapon Burst Bumps, plus weapon Kraken. Dual Squelcher, level unlocked to 16, cost 9,800, base damage 28, range 68 out of 100, damage 27 out of 100, fire rate 5 out of 100, sub-weapon Spot Bombs, plus weapon Echolocator. Custom Dual Squelcher. Level unlocked to 18. Cost 12,800. Base damage 28. Range 68 out of 100. Damage 27 out of 100. Fire rate 55 out of 100. Sub-weapon Squid Beacon. Special weapon Killer Whale. And I just spat all over my computer. I'm so sorry, computer. Can you find it hard to forgive me? L3 Nozzle Nose, level unlocked to 9, cost 5,800, base damage 29, range 60 out of 100, attack 40 out of 100, fire rate 65 out of 100, sub-weapon Disruptor, special weapon Killer Whale. L3 Nozzle Nose D, level unlocked 13, cost 6,600, base damage 29, range of 60 out of 100, attack of 40 out of 100, fire rate 65 out of 100, sub-weapon Burst Bomb, special weapon Kraken. H3 Nozzle Nose, level unlocked to 10, cost 7,500, base damage 41, range 68 of 100, attack 60 out of 100, fire rate 30 out of 100, sub-weapon Suction Bomb, special weapon Echolocator. H3 Nozzle Nose D, level unlocked 14, cost for 8,300, base damage 41, range 68 of 100, attack 60 out of 100, fire rate 30 out of 100, sub-weapon Point Sensor, special weapon Inkzooka. Cherry H3 Nozzle Nose, level unlocked 20, cost 12,400, base damage 41, range 68 of 100, attack 60 out of 100, fire rate 30 out of 100, sub-weapon special weapon Bubbler! I don't think I've ever talked that fast ever. Sorry if I was talking a little too fast for you guys to keep up right there, but I lost the original commentary for this and the next video, so having to redo all the commentary for doing all these weapon stats, it's not a very pleasant experience. I'll just say that right now, it is not a pleasant experience. So this final stage, a Kelp Dome, we will be seeing this again in the near future when we get around to the Rainmaker video, but we're not going to be seeing like a big like 3-minute demonstration for it when we get to that point. You'll see why when we get there, or if you watched earlier in the Let's Play, you might have a good idea as to why I'm planning it. Here, stop squeaking. But anyway, this is Kelp Dome. Something kind of weird about this one is that I always want to think that Kelp Dome was released when the game came out, but no, this came out June 10th, I think it was a month after the game came out? I don't know, but this was the second new stage that came out after the game was released. First of which was Port Mackerel, but we don't talk about the dark times. The Kelp Dome, one more thing I want to say about that is that in terms of when it was released on June 10th, like I said a moment ago, one day before my birthday. We want to keep that in mind, it's very crucial information. We've seen this on Tower Control and Rainmaker before, so after this, all we need to do is see it on Splatoon, and then we'll be okay. Now, I really like Kelp Dome. This is a really fun stage, and I think this is one of the very few stages in the entire game that I equally like on all the modes in the game. It works well in Turf Wars. Splatoon is pretty interesting too. Rainmaker is my personal favorite, which we'll be seeing a little bit later in the Let's Play. I already talked about that already, but whatever. And Tower Control. It actually has a very, very decent track. One of my bigger problems with Tower Control is that the track for the layout just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense a lot of the time. Like, I think Piranha Pit is probably the worst example I could think of. Like, we already saw like blades for that a little while back. I think it was episode 14, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But enough about that, because like, this is one of the very few stages where I like absolutely love this stage on every mode that I play on. I think the only other stage I could think of that does that, at least off the top of my head, would be like Camp Triggerfist and Mori Towers. So we're almost done with this match. Hopefully we'll be able to do it. Come on, let's paint the world with bubblegum. Make a bubblegum land. Everything's gonna be covered in bubblegum and they will like it. And anything that isn't covered in bubblegum shall be fed to Octolings. Are Octolings cannibalistic? I don't think they are. Why did I say that? I don't know why I say half the things I say. When you've been Let's Playing for as long as I have, you start losing brain cells. A lot. Especially after something like Earthbound and Epic Mickey. And to a certain degree this game. Let's assume that I don't have any brain cells. I'm a dork. But we're almost done with this match, so... 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1! Time's up, SpongeBob. Alright, so that's going to conclude this episode for Splatoon. So, Thank you guys so much for watching this video. In the next episode, we'll be talking about the remaining suitor weapons, as well as taking care of Splatoons. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and until next time, here's to you. Oh yeah.